Hello and welcome to the Ilene Silverman Show. I'm your host Ilene, and on this week's program, our guest, Brian Jose, Director, University of Florida Performing Arts, shares the upcoming performances for the spring 2022 season, plus how the UFPA interacts with our community. Learn how you can attend, support, and be more involved. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us for our program. I'm delighted to introduce my guest, Brian Jose, Director, University of Florida Performing Arts. And Brian, it's wonderful to have you here.
Pleasure for me, Ilene.
Well, thank you. I think back to 6 years ago when you and Patty moved here, and you came on my show then. It's hard to believe. And since then, I have always looked forward, and still do, to walking into the Phillips Center for the Performing Arts, and you're standing there in the foyer greeting all of your friends. And all of us are your friends. That's how we feel.
Well, it's one of the best parts of my job is the relationships. I really do. I treasure the opportunity to talk with people and to connect them to performance.
Yes. I mean, it makes it warm, it makes it friendly. And I mean, I know you suffered during COVID because, well, everyone suffered,
Yeah.
but live performing arts, I really has suffered more than many.
I think so. Of course, you're right. Across the world,
I know
across
we
different
can't
people.
say that,
But certainly performing arts was, by our unique nature, hit very hard by COVID. We couldn't gather in groups. That's the essence of what we do.
Right.
Joining together in that social contract with performance to experience an artist together. That's where the magic happens. And with COVID, of course, that was ruled out.
I know. You have survived.
Absolutely.
Your staff, everyone worked hard, and
They really did.
You've had a fall season,
Mm-hmm.
2021. We're looking forward to spring 2022. And so before we get into all of that, help us understand too, University of Florida Performing Arts. It's a really big umbrella. And what's under that umbrella?
Well, yeah, you're right. So we do roughly 50 different performances a year, or I guess maybe artists is more accurate.
Okay.
Artists and performing arts groups that come from around the world to the Phillips Center, to Gainesville. But we also are a rental hall, so Dance Alive, Gainesville Orchestra, commencements, myriad university
Right.
events take place on our stages as well. And we like to think that we're a home for lots of different areas of our community.
You are. I think so. And there's there's the University Auditorium within the Phillips Center, Squitieri Theater, which is the black box opportunity, your foyers. I mean...
And now Upstage we've created,
Oh,
which we can
tell
maybe...
us about Upstage. I like that.
Well, Upstage has become a really popular both venue and performance type for us. We look to emulate the great jazz clubs in New York, so Birdland, Village Vanguard, the Jazz Standard. And when you come to a performance in Upstage, it's like what it sounds. You sit on the stage with the performer. It's very intimate, and we do 2 sets. So at 7 o'clock there's a show, 9 o'clock there's a show. It is getting convoluted, but the 7 o'clock you actually get dinner with
you get the hors d'oeuvres.
right,
I know.
and the 9 o'clock show is desserts, and but you're really right there with the performer. It's about an hour-long set. I love to think of it that you got on a plane, flew to Greenwich Village,
and you're there.
right, and you're back home in your own bed.
And you get time to talk, of course, to fellow audience members and to the performers.
And to the performer. It really created a special environment, and it's probably one of our most popular offerings now. It's grown really quickly.
Oh, that is great, because you have several coming up for the spring. And, you're saying, I love this, your theme, bringing moments of memory to life. That's what the performing arts does.
Right.
And that is what you have been striving to do, and it's working,
And
even though you got derailed.
And your viewers get that double entendre pretty quickly. Bringing moments of meaning to life, it's our job to bring moments to the stage that need to be seen, those things that have heft and gravity, but also to animate them, to bring them to life, to make them crackle, to capture that lightning in a bottle, because that performance moment happens once and it's gone.
Yes,
You know?
but
And if
it
you're in the
stays with the audience.
right. And when you're in the audience, that moment of meaning is brought to life in a profound way.
Yes.
If we're doing our job.
If you well, you are doing your job. That moment of meaning, you have dedicated yourself to make that moment inclusive and to reach a diverse audience. And I applaud you for that, but we're going to run out of time, I know, but I do want you to share some of the thoughts that go into making this possible and to happen, because
Well, to me, it begins with the artists that we put on the stage.
right.
We look around the world for artists with different viewpoints, different backgrounds, different skill sets, and that's where diversity starts for us, is making the offerings that cut across a panoply of people so that we all have sort of a genuine but shared experience. Whether it's whatever your background is, we all come together as people.
For that moment of
meaning.
magic.
Thank you.
Yes, and meaning. And thank you, Brian. We're going to take a quick break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back talking with Brian Jost, University of Performing Arts Director. And Brian, we were talking about the importance of diversity, of reaching out to many different audiences, which you are certainly doing. And it's evident in your spring lineup. I was there for the preview early October. You've got some wonderful performances forthcoming, and I'm excited. So share with us.
Yeah, and I'll try not to just reel off.
I know. There's more than you can say. I understand
there really
that.
is, but as we mentioned earlier, diversity, the proof is in the pudding on what is put on the stage.
Exactly.
And we begin in January with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, which is one of the great orchestras of this country. I mean,
I'm excited.
This is Yadier Bignamini, music director, their new conductor will be there. And then we head into, I have to say, this spring is chock full of performance. Due to COVID, things got put in there. So if you like performance, you're going to like the spring.
This is your season.
This is it for you. But geez, coming into Branford Marsalis Quartet, one of the world's great performers.
Yes.
Palabolis' 50th anniversary tour.
I'm in
50,
for it, yeah.
Right, 50 years of performance.
It's incredible. It's hard to even explain to someone. You just have to be there.
Right. And if you like Broadway, Jersey Boys, Rent,
Yes.
it's farewell tour.
I
Last
know.
chance to see
so
that.
this is a coup for the Phillips Center that it's here.
Blue Man Group, which, believe it or not, has never been in Gainesville before.
I know.
First time
I know.
opportunity.
I told you I have tickets for our family. Harvey and I saw it on Broadway years ago. I mean, it is. It keeps you awake.
Yeah. And then, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about some of the things I think are really special performances that are sort of once in a lifetime. Lemon Anderson is a slam poet. He is an Emmy winner. This guy is special, and catching his performance in the Squitieri, you'll be right there with one of the great thinkers. And I'm really excited about Mrs. Krishnan's Party.
Yes, upstage for the happening.
And this is an event where you're actually part of the performance. So you're attending this party that is a surprise party that Mrs. Krishnan was unaware is happening in her store. So it's funny, but it's also really serious. It looks at the things that we all deal with across generational conflict, but at the same time, it's kind of a dance party. It's a lot of fun.
It has a lot of different themes that will touch the heart in many different ways. I have my tickets. I'm going with several girlfriends. We're going to be partying on with them.
It's a great night. A show that I have to highlight, Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain. I'll tell you, so I've seen them once before. I went in with some trepidation. Am I going to like a ukulele orchestra?
Right.
I can put it in my top 5 performances since I've been
Really?
here. Oh, it's a blast. And
this is even better. Okay.
You bring your own ukulele because they'll let you play along with it for several
start now.
songs.
Okay.
Isn't that great?
Yes, and we were discussing maybe an opportunity for bringing that.
Right.
to the shops at Thornbrook when we get to another part of the driveway project, because Hogtown Music gives ukulele lessons.
There.
This
So you'll
this
you
could
get
be a
your leg
moment
up
for
for
all of
April.
us.
Right.
We'll just fill up the courtyard.
And I mentioned Upstage in the previous segment.
Yes.
Some of the Upstage artists you can see include Darren Nicholson from Balsam Range. His quartet will be there. Yasmin Williams, who NPR listed as the top 25 performers of this year. She'll be there Upstage. A chance to see she's a guitar phenom. Really special. And then Gretchen Parlato, who's a great jazz singer, will be Upstage. So lots of different opportunities to see these performers in different setups, whether it's a throw-together party Upstage or a more traditional setup. There's really something for everybody, I think, this spring.
I agree, and it's up to us, the audience member, to sort of get ourselves up and fill those seats. And during COVID, it did get easy to say we're home and we're going to stay home in our comfy clothes. So sometimes we might have to push ourselves or say, Brian Joe says this is a good performer. Maybe I've never heard of that person, but I'm going to go upstage and I'm going to experience something new in the arts and then you come away and say, this spoke to me in ways I was not anticipating.
That's my greatest hope.
I know, that's the magical moment.
I'll tell anyone that will listen to me, Eileen, our biggest competition isn't the Hippodrome or Gainesville Orchestra, or it's the couch. It's Netflix.
We've got to get there. Yes,
right?
It gets too easy to not be there.
That's right. I love when people attend Dance Alive, the Hippodrome, because that's a behavior of attendance, and a rising tide lifts all ships.
Well said. We're going to take another quick break. Thanks, Brian. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back talking with UFPA Director Brian Jose. And Brian, a great season looking ahead, but tell us now more about how the UFPA interacts with our community.
Well, one of the things that, Eileen, that I really believe firmly in is what the artist does on the stage at 7 or 7:30 is vital. Of course, that's why they're in town, to perform for us. But equally important to us is what are they doing off the stage in our community? We call that residency or outreach.
Right.
So what elementary school or middle school or high school are they in, or senior center or community center, or of course the courses on campus that they're interacting with our students. It's a university campus.
Right.
What better
It's
way
perfect.
to connect young people with creativity than put them in the classroom, whether it's a university classroom or an elementary classroom. So virtually all of our artists engage some way beyond the stage.
Incredible.
It
That's
really
just
is
a whole other program for what you're doing.
And it's magical when it happens. That moment where young people connect to a performer, that I know that stays with them for the rest of their lives. They'll recall that 70 years from now.
And you don't ever know what fire it will light within them,
That's right.
where it will, the opportunity, which may never have come before.
That's
to,
right.
to meet an artist, to know about performances. The same with bringing school classes into the UFPA. I know you do that too.
Right, we do, and many of our local arts groups like Dance Alive, like the Gainesville Orchestra, do that in our facility so that young people get that exposure. And another thing that we do, our friends at Drum and Bank made possible, was the Rural Arts Initiative. And that's where we take artists outside of Gainesville. Believe it or not, at Cedar Key or Trenton, they may not always get an Emmy Award-winning performer.
No, and they may not get to Gainesville for a performance. Yeah.
So when Lemon Anderson is here, he'll be going this spring, for a week. He'll be going to the schools outside of Gainesville, doing poetry, teaching students how to tell their story. That's where the magic happens.
And that must mean so much to these artists to be able to do that, because they know that's the true giving of their art. That's the communication.
That's right.
What they're trained for.
They share their gift.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. And I know you also have a partnership with Arts in Medicine, another opportunity.
Right. Jill Sonke and her team, we have a great relationship where we look for ways to connect artists in ways that connects with public health. And there's a great deal of therapy that comes out
There
of
is.
performance.
There
right?
is that the healing through the arts. So that is another opportunity. And
And-
I think we have that resource in Gainesville.
Absolutely. And Jill and some of her partners have done a lot of research. There's a lot of mental health benefits. People tend to have less depression. They tend to be happier, those that connect with performance.
Right. Definitely. And okay, now go back to the driveway
Oh, yeah.
theater project that I kind of mentioned.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother thing you've started.
So Driveway Theater is a reasonably new initiative for us. It's something we've been cooking up for years, pre-COVID.
Okay.
And the idea is to create the new kind of block party around performance. You know, not everybody's comfortable coming to the Phillips Center or can get to the Phillips
Right.
Center. So we're taking the performance to them. We take it to someone's driveway, to their side yard, to their backyard.
This is so great.
It costs the end user nothing. We have a donor couple that made this possible. And so
We thank these people.
Right.
Yes.
And so we bring the performance to your driveway. All you have to offer us is a place to plug in an extension cord. And
love it.
your
And-
job is to invite your neighbors and your friends. That's your investment, is the social capital of getting your friends and neighbors there for a party. We bring the performance.
I just think this is an incredible opportunity.
it's
and you said
amazing.
you've had some
Oh, we've had
with much success, I know.
the community building is one of the best parts, is to
I-
watch neighbors say, I know who you are. Oh, you have that dog. I know who you are.
Yes, yes.
Right.
And they haven't gotten out before. And then
They-
since COVID, it's even more of a release.
And so now they connect in a deep way around performance, and it gives sort of some focus to the event without it owning the event. It's really
Right.
about community building.
Oh, see, this is, to me, all of these projects are so important and probably lesser known because the audience sees
Right.
the Phillips Center for the Performing Arts, thinks about we go, we sit, we, enjoy, and we hope we are active within that sitting in the audience,
Right.
because what you're offering here is the chance for interaction, for more communication.
You
That's
mentioned
what
it.
Upstage also
Right.
offers.
You mentioned it at the top, bringing moments of meaning to life, whether you're in the
Right.
hall having those moments or in the driveway, right?
Yes.
That's our
That's
job, is to add that gravity, that animation to life.
And I know it must take so much time, attention, thought to putting together a season, and you've got to be starting way in advance. And I congratulate you and everyone at UFPA for all that you do to make the magic happen. And we're still taking another break, and we'll be back for more discussion. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're talking with Brian Jost, director of UFPA. And Brian, okay, tell me more about the Driveway Theater project. Like, how do I get it to my driveway?
Right. Well, that's the beauty of it, is you contact UFPA at our website, and we will put you in the list to bring the Driveway Theater to you. And our goal is to ensure that Driveway Theater goes to all parts of North Central Florida.
Yes.
West side, east side, out to
All
Keystone
around the
Heights,
town.
Micanopy, you name it. We want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to engage with the Driveway Theater project. And it's 5 different performances right now, sort of across the spectrum of types of plays.
Right.
The cast itself is a diverse cast in ethnicity, in age, and background. So hopefully whatever neighborhood this goes to, whoever's driveway, there's a connection for young people, older people. Everybody can get on board
Right.
with the performance experience.
It speaks to everyone.
That's our hope.
Well thought out. Well, I'm excited. And when you first announced this in October, first I heard of it, I went, what a brilliant idea. As you
Thank
said, you've been working on it a long time,
time.
but suddenly now it's here and people are already enjoying it.
It can be in your driveway.
That's right. Thank you. And now, tell us, how do you go about getting tickets? The best way?
Well, our ticket office, I think, is
They're A+. They are.
wonderful customer service. So either call our ticket office, 392-ARTS.
Right.
Or, of course, you can visit us in person. We'd love to talk with people. I think it's something special about coming in and getting that sort of
I agree.
person-on-person
And-
guidance on which performances and which seats might work
Right,
best
you
for
can
you.
look at the plan of the seats, you can pick up a brochure when you go in.
And of course, our website, where you can also download our brochure, but you can look at all of the upcoming events. You can purchase tickets online, watch video of each performance.
Yes, the link to your preview,
Watch the
right,
season
that I was
preview.
at, yeah.
Our goal is to make it as seamless as possible, to remove all the friction, so
Okay,
you can
all obstacles.
Right.
Just like we said, we want to get you there.
get the friction out of the way, so you can connect with our ticket office on your time, whether it's via the website or in person or on the phone. We'll do what we can to help you out.
Well said. And what about the opportunity for your affiliate membership?
Oh, thank you. Affiliates are those who support UFPA with a financial gift beyond purchasing tickets. And there's a host of benefits by doing that. Of course,
Right.
it allows us to bring those performers to schools,
we-
to community centers, all those things that we try to do to change lives. But there's also a personal benefit for the donor in that they get to purchase tickets early. They get early ticket buying
Right.
privileges. So you get some of the best seats for the upcoming performances.
That is true.
Right.
And for all the sponsors that bring us these performances, I mean, I thank them. It means a great deal.
Yeah, that's
Because it brings it to the stage and out into the community, and people have been generous through the years.
They're
And
making
you-
an investment. They give us
Exactly.
the money up front to ensure that we can bring these artists to Gainesville.
And that's what we value. We thank them for that.
Indeed.
And there's still so many ways, other ways that we might be involved in UFPA that maybe we don't know about.
Wow.
Sorry.
How much time do we have? Right. Well, really.
Still enough.
Yeah, and something we didn't talk about. It's really important to me that people have context to the performer that they're going to see. So before many of our shows,
Oh,
you
that's
can come
right.
into the pre-performance talk. It happens about 45 minutes before the performance is scheduled to come in. So you actually get a good parking space. You come in, and an expert, somebody that can tie in the context of the performance.
I've attended.
Right, gives
Oh,
you
it's
some
great.
right, gives you some background on either the art form or the artist or the type of performance you're going to see. And to me, it rounds out the experience. You know?
It does. You're
Yeah.
right about that. And now that things are opening up, you can enjoy a glass of wine.
Right.
You can and it helps. As I said, you're standing there to greet everyone, and to talk about what you're going to see and to explore. Brian, you always offer the opportunity to push the boundaries of your own comfort level. As I've said, you go, okay, Detroit Symphony, I'm in, Palopolis or Broadway, Jersey Boys, I'm going. But then I look at others and I listen to what you say. If people go to your website and look at those videos, and I go, well, maybe I need to be upstage at Mrs.
Right.
Krishna's
Right.
party happening. That's something that's going to be different and valuable experience.
Thank you for saying that, because to me that's where I can count so many performances in my life that I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
Yeah.
And I've seen them, and they were life changers. Performances that I still think about 5-10 years later. Every day they cross my mind because they had a profound effect on me. They weren't necessarily the ones that you recognize the name.
Exactly.
Itzhak Perlman. He's fabulous, but sometimes it's the performance you've never heard of
That is a
really
turning point.
speaks to you. Right.
Oh, well
Right.
said. And I thank you, Brian, and everybody at UFPA, hardworking, who
They're
make the
amazing.
magic. Yes, they are. Who make the magic happen for all of us who get to come and be in the audience, and for all you do. Thank you very much. We are so excited for the spring 2022 season and filling up all those wonderful seats.
And thank you for all you do for our Gainesville community.
Thank you very much. We live in a wonderful place,
You
don't
do.
we? Yes, we do. And I look forward to seeing you at the UFPA next spring. And I'm so glad that you tuned in, and I hope you'll join us next week. Take care.